Did you try turning it off and on again? I asked, keeping my voice as neutral as possible while my sister Amanda's face filled my laptop screen during our video call. Don't patronize me, she snapped, her perfectly coiffed hair bouncing with each indignant shake of her head. I'm a senior partner at Maxwell & Brooks. I don't have time for tech support jokes. Just fix it remotely, whatever it is you people do. On my other monitor, lines of code from my company's new AI security protocol scrolled by, a multi-billion-dollar project. But to Amanda, I was still just her little sister who was good with computers. I can't fix it unless I know what I'm dealing with, I said, for what felt like the 100th time. She groaned, fine, the merger docs for the Wilson Tech acquisition are encrypted, and we can't access them. Happy now, IT girl? This is the biggest deal our firm has ever handled, and I need to review them before tomorrow's meeting. I froze. Wilson Tech. Send me the file, I said, already suspecting what I'd find. After all, I'd built the encryption myself. Finally, see? Not that hard, Amanda muttered. I'll have my assistant send it. Just wave your magic mouse and fix it. 10 minutes later, the encrypted files landed in my inbox. I recognized them instantly, documents I'd secured personally when Wilson Tech entered acquisition talks with Phoenix Global. Done, I said, firing back the decrypted version. You're a lifesaver, even if you do spend your days playing with computers. Anyway, big meeting prep, gotta run. She disconnected without waiting for a response. I leaned back in my chair, high in my private office atop Phoenix Tower. Through the wall of glass, Seattle shimmered in the afternoon sun. On my desk, the latest issue of Forbes sat open, my face on the cover, the headline, Alex Chin, the billion-dollar code queen. My phone buzzed, an internal message from legal. Miss Chin, final merger documents prepared for tomorrow's meeting with Maxwell & Brooks. Will you be signing as CEO, or should we have the board chair present? I smiled, imagining Amanda walking into that room expecting to deal with Wilson Tech's execs, only to find her IT girl little sister waiting across the table. For a decade, I'd let her believe I was just a back-end techie. Every family dinner, every smug comment, every urgent request to fix her computer, I'd let it slide. Remember that startup you tried in college? She'd laughed last Christmas. Good thing you settled down with a steady IT job. That startup became Phoenix Global, one of the world's largest tech conglomerates. While Amanda was climbing the corporate ladder at a law firm, I was quietly building an empire. I used my Chinese name, Shuing Chin, in all corporate dealings. She never made the connection. Until tomorrow. I picked up my phone and texted legal. I'll be signing, and make sure Amanda Brooks personally reviews the final documents. A knock at the door. My assistant stepped in. Miss Chin, the board is ready for the pre-merger briefing. I stood, adjusting the collar of my tailored Armani blazer. Coming. As I turned to leave, my gaze landed on a family photo from Thanksgiving. Amanda was front and center, radiating confidence. I was off to the side in a plain sweater and jeans, deliberately forgettable. Tomorrow, the roles would reverse. She would see me not as her tech support, but as the CEO she'd been negotiating with for months, the one holding the future of her firm in her hands. Revenge doesn't always come in flames. Sometimes, it arrives dressed in silence, in success, and in the perfect reveal. The morning of the merger. I arrived at Phoenix Tower at 6 a.m., 3 hours ahead of the meeting. A soft fog curled around the building, cloaking the city in a quiet hush. Maria, my assistant, met me with a stack of documents and my usual green tea. Your sister called 4 times last night, she said with a grin tugging at the corners of her mouth. She insisted on speaking with CEO Chin about the merger terms. I told her, as instructed, that Miss Chin communicates only through official channels during negotiations. She paused. She wasn't thrilled. I could imagine. Amanda had never tolerated not being the most important person in the room. Has she figured it out? I asked, scrolling through morning emails. Not even close, Maria replied, a hint of amusement in her voice. She asked if I could connect her to IT, said her sister works here and might be able to speed things up. I laughed. 10 years of letting people underestimate me had become something of an art form, while Amanda held court at family gatherings, proudly announcing her partnership at Maxwell & Brooks. I had quietly built Phoenix Global from a garage startup into a global tech empire. Our AI security systems protected 80% of the Fortune 500. Our quantum computing division had rewritten the rules of data processing. But to my family, I was still good with computers. At 8:30 a.m., Maria returned with a smirk. The Maxwell and Brooks team is in the building. Your sister is down in the lobby lecturing their junior associates about merger etiquette. I pulled up the security feed on my tablet. There she was, immaculate in her designer suit, commanding a ring of nervous young lawyers. Even through the silent feed, I could lip-read her words. We're about to meet Phoenix Global's CEO, biggest tech acquisition of the year. Don't embarrass me. Put them in the Jade conference room, I said. I'll monitor from here until 9. The Jade room was designed to intimidate, 60 stories up, smart glass walls, and a massive jade slab of a table worth more than Amanda's yearly salary, a throne room for deals. Through the feed, I watched them settle in. Amanda, of course, claimed the seat opposite the CEO's, positioning herself as an equal before even knowing who she was facing. At 8:55, I stood, straightening my Tom Ford suit. Time to go be a CEO. Maria handed me a folder, the final merger documents, then hesitated. Also, your sister's internal reviews from Maxwell and Brooks. I raised an eyebrow. She's been taking credit for her associates' work, Maria said. 3 formal complaints last month. Thought you'd want to know. Classic Amanda, always building herself up by standing on someone else's back, just like she'd done to me for years. The walk to the conference room took 3 minutes. Behind the frosted glass, I could hear her voice clearly. The CEO is late, typical tech exec, no respect for real business protocol. I checked my watch, 8:59 a.m. The doors opened precisely at 9 o'clock. I entered, flanked by my executive team. Amanda was mid-sentence, back to the door, still holding court. Honestly, these tech CEOs think they're important just because. Just because what, Amanda? My voice cut clean through the room. She turned, that familiar condescending smile already forming, until her eyes met mine. The smile vanished. Confusion, disbelief, shock, horror. Her mouth opened, then closed. Nothing came out. Alex, she finally whispered. I smiled, poised, professional, as I took my seat at the head of the jade table. That's Miss Chin in this room. Miss Brooks, shall we begin? Her expensive fountain pen clattered to the table in the stunned silence that followed. The next 30 minutes were exquisitely uncomfortable. I led the meeting with precision, presenting Phoenix Global's strategic vision, detailing our post-merger innovation roadmap, and outlining global integration timelines. Every time I dropped a billion-dollar figure, her complexion paled. Each time I referenced our proprietary AI systems or quantum nodes, her jaw clenched a little tighter. I didn't look at her often. I didn't need to. Her discomfort was radiating through the room like static. Finally, I turned toward the wall. Now, to give you a better perspective. I tapped the embedded controls. The smart glass walls turned transparent, revealing the sheer drop to the city below, a vertigo-inducing panorama that left more than one junior associate fidgeting. Amanda sat frozen, still processing that the CEO she had been trying to impress was the sister she'd spent a decade casually belittling. And we weren't even at the signing yet. Let's talk about some concerns Phoenix Global has with Maxwell and Brooks' handling of this merger. Amanda's head snapped up. Concerns? I tapped my tablet. Yes, starting with credit attribution in the preliminary documentation. I brought up the file. According to this, you personally conducted the technical review of our AI architecture. She shifted in her chair. I supervised the team that handled it. Interesting, I said, bringing up another screen, because internal communications show that review was done by 3 junior associates, the same associates who filed formal complaints last month for having their work misappropriated. Her colleagues shifted, clearly aware of the implications. Amanda's face flushed crimson. That's an internal issue, she said sharply. It has nothing to do with this merger. On the contrary, I replied, leaning forward, voice calm but cold. Phoenix Global operates under a strict ethical code. We reward work that's earned. That's why I've kept my identity quiet all these years. I wanted to earn my place, not coast on family connections. Her eyes widened as understanding finally clicked. All those times you said you were just working in tech. I was building this company, I said simply, while you rolled your eyes at my little side project. I was creating the cybersecurity infrastructure that protects the global economy, while you mocked me for fixing your laptop. I was writing the code that reshaped the tech industry. The room was silent, tension thick as steel. Now, I continued, switching to the business at hand, the merger will proceed, with conditions. Full credit for the technical review will go to the junior team that earned it. Maxwell and Brooks will implement a mandatory ethics oversight protocol. And you, Amanda, will be officially recused from all future dealings with Phoenix Global. You can't do that, she said, voice rising. I'm the senior partner overseeing this deal. I tapped my screen. Contracts populated across the team's tablets. As CEO of the acquiring company, I said evenly, I absolutely can, and I just did. One of her fellow partners cleared his throat, clearly eager to move things forward. Amanda, perhaps we should. No, she stood abruptly, the mask of composure finally cracking. This is absurd. She's my sister. She fixes computers. She can't just. I rose slowly, meeting her outburst with cool authority. Miss Brooks, this meeting is recorded. Would you like to keep offering evidence as to why you're being recused? She fell silent, crumpling back into her seat. I turned to her team. Shall we continue with those who did the actual work? 3 hours later, the merger was finalized. The junior associates had been given their rightful credit. Amanda had said nothing more. As everyone filed out, I called after her. Miss Brooks, a moment? She paused, glancing back. Next time you need IT help, I said quietly, submit a support ticket. Our help desk is far more efficient than your sister's personal line. That evening, the sun dipped low over the Seattle skyline as I reviewed post-merger notes in my office. Maria entered with a tray of tea and a stack of messages. From your family, she said. Some reactions. Mom was shocked. Dad was proud. Amanda had sent a single text. I'm sorry for everything, not just today, for all of it. I stared at it for a long moment, then typed. Next family dinners at my place, top floor, Phoenix Tower, dress appropriately. And Amanda, bring your junior associates. It's time they met the family. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't just showing people who you really are. It's showing them who they could be, if they stopped underestimating others. As night fell over the city, I looked out at the world I'd built. Amanda always told me to be more ambitious. She just never imagined I'd dream bigger than she ever dared.